Imagine looking in the mirror after a nose job and feeling like you're looking at someone else. Not that the nose job looks bad, not that it's overdone, it's just not you. I came across a story in People magazine recently about a woman who had a rhinoplasty and said exactly that. She didn't recognize herself. And when I read it, my first thought wasn't, oh, this is why you shouldn't do surgery. It was, something broke down in the consultation. Because most patients don't ask for a completely different nose. They say things like, I want it more refined, more balanced, I still want to look like myself. But here's the problem. Those words don't mean the same thing to everyone. A patient might be thinking, keep my bridge, keep the character of my nose, keep the features that make me, me. But the surgeon might hear, make it straighter, make it smaller, smooth everything out. And that's how you end up with a result that's technically good, but somehow still feels completely wrong. And there's another layer to this. Sometimes surgeons, without meaning to, develop a consistent aesthetic, a certain bridge height, a certain tip shape, a certain overall look. And if you look carefully at their before and afters, you can sometimes see that pattern. So the risk is the nose technically becomes quote unquote better, but less individual. And this is where the identity issue comes in. The features patients often want to change are sometimes the exact features tied to how they recognize themselves. For example, a slight hump, a certain width of the nose, a specific shape of the tip. And when these are completely removed, the face can shift in a way that feels unfamiliar. Not worse, just not you. So when someone says, I don't recognize myself, that's not an overreaction. That's a real response to losing the visual cues your brain associates with your own identity. This is the reason the consultation matters so much. A good consult isn't just, what don't you like? It's also, what do you want to keep? And honestly, that second question is often more important. Because great rhinoplasty isn't about removing features necessarily. It's about identifying which features define you, preserving those, and improving everything around them. And in many cases, you can actually see this coming. If you look at a surgeon's results and notice that the noses start to look similar, certain features are always removed or there's a consistent signature look, that tells you something about their philosophy. And the real question is, does that philosophy match you? The way I think about rhinoplasty is actually pretty simple. A good result should feel natural, it should function well, and most importantly, it should feel familiar. You should look in the mirror afterwards and think, that's me, just better. Not, that's a different version of me. Because once that sense of identity is disrupted, that's very hard to fully undo. So the takeaway here isn't don't get a nose job. It's to make sure that your surgeon understands what you want to keep and not just what you want to change. Because ultimately, rhinoplasty actually isn't just about the nose. And when a result doesn't feel right, it's often because something essential was unintentionally taken away.